Alright, now we're going to start graphing systems of inequalities. So you guys had your review on inequalities and how to graph them. So you're really just graphing two lines and then shading different regions. So we're going to look at this first equation. And it gives us a starting point of positive 2. So I'm going to go up to positive 2 on my y-axis. And my slope is negative 1. So I go down 1, right 1, down 1, right 1, and so forth. In the other direction, I would go up 1, left 1 from my y-intercept. So now the question is, did I, in this case, hold on, it's having a mind of its own. Now, did I choose correctly when choosing a solid line? And the answer is yes. Of course I did, because I looked here and I said, well, this is going to be a solid line. That was the first thing when I look at it. Whether or not I say it out loud, which sometimes I don't, because I just automatically see that, oh, okay, it is less than or equal to, that means solid line. So what we're going to do now is we have to choose whether or not we're going to shade above or below. Okay. Of course, in this case, we're going to shade below. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shade this below for the time being, just like this, so I can still see my other equations. And then I'm going to pick a different color, and I'm going to graph this one in blue. So I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing greater than, so automatically think dotted line. Next thing that I'm going to do is I've got 3x minus 1. So I know I'm starting down here at negative 1. Okay. Then I'm going up 3, right 1. Up 3, right 1. 1, 2, 3, over 1. Okay. And I'm just going to add 1 down below here. And again, I'm just starting from my negative 1 and going down 1, 2, 3, and over 1. Alright. Now, we said dotted line, so I'm just gonna make some dots and oops. Me and these dotted lines today. I'll do this. Oops. I am having the greatest time with these dotted lines. So, as you're watching me struggle creating my dotted line, you should be thinking about, how am I going to shade this? It's so much easier, oops, when you're on paper. Okay. So you need to pick above or below. So in this case, we're going to do above. So we're going this way. Okay. So this part here, where it's green underneath, okay, I'm going to pick, I'm just going to end up picking, let's pick just red for the time being. So all of this area here and going down this way, this spot over here is our shaded region. So if you guys are working on these problems yourself, what you're going to want to do is you want to shade lightly with pencil for each one until you see where the overlapping shades are. That is what I used to do when I was graphing. Alright, I'm going to give you guys another example. Okay, in this case, you're going to have to solve for y. Alright, so I'm going to do that with you first, at least with the first one, and then I'll give you guys a chance to work your way through this problem. So here you've got x minus 4y is greater than or equal to 20. Okay, I'm already thinking solid line. So what I need to do is subtract x from each side. So you've got negative 4y is greater than negative x plus 20. Next step is dividing by negative 4. Now, some of you should remember this rule about inequalities. If you are dividing by a negative number, okay, that symbol switches. So I need to switch this symbol so that it says now a less than. Okay. Now if we went through all of this and then we tried a number in the original equation, you would see why that happens. That negative symbol makes things switch. So if you're dividing or multiplying by a negative number, you need to switch the sign. So now you've got 1/4 x minus 5. Okay. So this would be a great time for you guys. Just pause the video, try the second part yourself, and then start me back up in a few minutes. Alright, so you guys should be back. You probably already solved the second one. So I'm just going to go through and solve that one myself. So I'm just subtracting x from each side. I'm going to then divide by negative 5. Again, making sure that I'm flipping that sign. So now it's greater than. I've got 1/5 x minus 4. Okay, so now we're going to go in and graph it. Now the first equation, I just realized that I didn't carry down the greater than or equal symbol, and when I flipped it, I realized I didn't write that little line underneath. And that's important. Okay, so let's just pick a different color, and I'm going to say this equation over here, I'm going to graph in purple. So you guys went down to negative 5. You went up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, or starting at negative 5, you went down and then left 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, solid line going through these dots. No, I'm still having trouble with my lines this morning. Okay, that looks a little better. And then it's below I'm shading, so I'm going to make sure I clean up this spot for myself here. And we're shading below. Oops. Okay. So that is that equation. So we need to look at the next one. So we're going to start where? Yes, negative 4. So you're going to start here. Okay. We're then going to go up 1 over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Or down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We're going to have a dotted line going through. Getting a little better at drawing my lines. Okay, and then this is, just imagine that this is still going this direction. So remember how we shaded below this line here? You're going to shade above this line here. So the intersecting of these two lines is actually going to be over here off of our page. Okay. So you guys can see that's where these intersect. If you're looking at that X that they create, it's that top region. Alright, this concludes grafting systems of inequalities.